Driving a GT3 RS on the road is the worst. You can feel you're in something special, yet the magic always just seems out of reach. Even at well above the speed limit, it can still feel like a relaxed Sunday cruise because the car is that capable. And with prices now sky high, if you couldn't swing one before, you definitely can't now. So forget the GT3 RS as a dream car. The one you really want is a 996 Carrera.
It's not scary fast though. It's not like going to the pub with a murderer. You're not thinking, this is fun, but soon I will be dead.
When it arrived, the 996 Generation 911 drew scowls from Porsche faithful everywhere. The fried egg headlights divided opinions, and the long-loved air-cooled flat six was replaced by a water-cooled newcomer, a move many called hearsay. Fast forward to today, and that same Outcast offers 320 horsepower in a package just under 3,000 pounds, all for less than 30 grand, while still delivering the unmistakable soul of an old-school 911. Stick with me, and we'll see why this once-dismissed Porsche might be the best sports car value on the market. To see why that matters, rewind to the very first 911 in 1964. Porsche's recipe was simple. A rear-mounted flat six, cramped rear seats that doubled as luggage space, and a balance of fun and practicality that let owners blast alpine passes on Friday and run errands on Saturday. Over the decades, Porsche kept refining rather than reinventing. The 1970s G-Series added impact bumpers and better rust-proofing. The 964, launched for 1989, brought coil springs, ABS, and optional all-wheel drive. The 993 of 1994 finally tamed the car's snap oversteer with multi-link rear suspension. All stayed air-cooled and all kept the same familiar outline, but each step also made the car heavier and costlier to build. By the mid-1990s, tightening emissions and noise rules, plus soaring costs, forced Porsche to hit reset. Water cooling and higher production volume were no longer optional. They were how the company would survive. That hard choice birthed the 996. Engineers swapped fins and oil coolers for radiators and a brand new 3.4-liter flat six, widened the track, and gave the cabin more space without stretching the outside dimensions. To save money, Porsche shared parts with the new Boxster, most famously those polarizing headlights. Purists groaned. The engine sounded different, the dashboard looked almost normal, and the body lost the tight waistline of the earlier cars. Even so, the 996 kept what makes a 911 a 911. The engine still sat behind the rear axle. Weight stayed roughly 38% front and 62% rear, and the view over the front fenders still showed those classic curves. Fast forward 20 plus years, and that blend of old and new gives the 996 a personality most modern cars lack. Curb weight under 3,000 pounds, and old-school hydraulic steering let your hands feel every bump and change in grip. Because the body is narrow, back roads feel roomy instead of tight. Period tests clocked the facelifted 3.6-liter Carrera at 0 to 60 in about 4.9 seconds, with a top speed just under 175 miles per hour. Numbers still quick enough to impress. More importantly, torque peaks around 4,600 RPM, and horsepower climbs smoothly to the 7,200 RPM redline, so you can explore the power band without flattening your wallet or your license. Practicality is just as strong. The front trunk holds close to 3.5 cubic feet of gear, and the back seats fold flat for groceries or golf bags. Highway mileage hovers near 26 miles per gallon, and thanks to slim roof pillars, visibility is better than in many newer sports cars. Dual-zone climate control and front-side airbags make long drives easy. Plenty of owners daily drive these cars, confident they'll fire up on a hot Tuesday, tackle a weekend track day, and then take the kids for ice cream. Every 996 buyer should budget for a few known gremlins. The most talked about issue is the IMS bearing used on 3.4-liter and early 3.6-liter engines. If that bearing fails, which it does about 8% of the time, the timing chain loses support and the engine can self-destruct. Other hotspots include rear main seal drips, cracked coolant expansion tanks, and tired coil packs. None are budget busters if you plan ahead. Porsche built roughly 175,000 996s worldwide, so parts are plentiful, and any decent-sized city has an independent shop that knows the platform. Labor bills do creep up because the engine sits out back, but they're still far below anything Italian or British from the same era. Once you set aside a maintenance fund, the money side looks solid. Clean, well-documented base Carreras now trade in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. For that, you get 300 horsepower, a genuine 180 mile/hour chassis, and a badge many people see as the gold standard of sports cars. Insurance is normal if you have a clean record, and the car's steady climb in respect means you're unlikely to lose much value if you keep it in good shape. Stats and spreadsheets only tell part of the story. Modern sports cars often hide you behind thick glass, synthetic engine sounds, and electric steering that feels like turning a video game wheel. The 996 talks back. You hear a gentle valve train tick at idle, feel the shifter wiggle as the motor loads and unloads, and sense the rear end squat down as you squeeze the throttle mid-corner. The gadget count is low, so every sensation comes straight from iron and aluminum, not a line of code. That honesty builds confidence, and confidence turns into fun at speeds that won't land you on the evening news. Sure, the interior plastics are hard. The headlights take getting used to, and you'll never stop hearing someone say, air-cooled is better. But those trade-offs come with perks. A body that slices through the air, an engine that won't overheat in a summer traffic jam, and switchgear that soldiers on after 20 years of sun and heat. Judged as a whole, the downsides feel more like quirks than deal breakers. Put it all together, and the 996 hits a sweet spot where hard facts meet honest smiles. It's modern enough to be safe, comfortable, and reliable. It's old school enough to let you feel the road and hear a real flat six without turbos or artificial pops. Keep up with its small list of known problems, and it will reward you with a sort of straightforward, driver-first fun that newer cars often bury under weight and tech layers. For anyone hunting a sports car that's fast, usable, and still wears the right badge, the once controversial 996 now looks like one of the best bargains on American roads. So forget that GT3 RS and go find one of these and enjoy it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like or subscribe.